I was buttoning my coat, the one Mom bought me last Christmas, saying it made me look sophisticated. Friday dinner at her place, like we'd been doing for months now. Trying to rebuild what we lost, you know? Trying to fix years of distance and cold shoulders and all those things we never said to each other. I was actually excited. My phone was on the kitchen counter, face down. I didn't see it light up. Not the first time, not the second, not even the third. Then I grabbed it to check the time, and my heart stopped. 3 missed calls from Mr. Daniels, my lawyer, the man I only hear from when something's seriously wrong, and then the text. 6 words that made my blood run cold. Call me now. Don't go there. Don't go there? Don't go to my mother's house? What the hell was he talking about? My hand started shaking. I'm standing there in my hallway, car keys digging into my palm, and I can feel this wave of panic rising up my throat. Something was wrong. Deeply, terribly wrong. You know that feeling? When your gut just screams at you that your whole world is about to shatter. That's where I was. Standing at my own front door, terrified to take one more step. What could my own mother be hiding from me? Let me back up. Let me tell you how we got here, because you need to understand what this meant to me. My mother, Evelyn, raised me alone, after Dad died. Just the 2 of us against the world. Or at least that's what I thought it was. But somewhere along the way, things got complicated, tense. We spent years barely speaking, years of her criticism, and my resentment building this wall between us brick by painful brick. Then, after my divorce, she reached out. She said she wanted to fix things. She said family was all we had. She talked constantly about family legacy and keeping everything in the bloodline and how important it was that we stick together. I thought she was trying. I thought she cared. God, I was so stupid. These Friday dinners were supposed to be our fresh start. Me and Mom, healing old wounds. I'm a single mother now, working myself to the bone, trying to rebuild my life after my marriage fell apart. And there she was, offering me a lifeline, offering me family. How desperate was I that I grabbed onto that with both hands? Very. The answer is very desperate. So you can imagine what went through my head when my lawyer told me not to go to her house. I called him back immediately, my voice shaking so hard I could barely get the words out. What's going on? What happened? He didn't want to tell me over the phone. He said, come to my office, right now. This can't wait. I drove there in a daze. I don't even remember the route I took. I just remember gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles went white, and this voice in my head repeating, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, like a prayer. Like if I said it enough times, it would be true. It wasn't fine. Mr. Daniels sat me down in his office. He had this look on his face, this mixture of anger and pity that made me want to throw up. He slid a stack of documents across his desk to me, legal documents, filed that morning, filed by my mother. Laura, he said quietly, your mother has filed a petition for legal guardianship, over you, over your assets, everything. I stared at him. The words didn't make sense. They were English, but they didn't make sense. What? Guardianship? I'm 35 years old. I'm not. She's claiming you're mentally unstable, that your divorce has left you incapable of managing your own affairs. She has medical reports, Laura, witness statements from people you trust, family, friends, all saying you're a danger to yourself. The room spun. I grabbed the edge of his desk because I thought I was going to fall right out of my chair. That's insane. I'm not unstable. I'm fine. The reports are forged, he said, and his voice was hard now, sharp. The statements are fabricated, but she filed them officially. She's trying to have you declared unfit so she can control everything. Your inheritance from your father, your assets, everything you own. She wants it all. I couldn't breathe. Do you understand? I couldn't get air into my lungs. My own mother was trying to destroy me, to steal from me, to paint me as crazy so she could take everything I had. Why? I whispered. Why would she do this? That's when he showed me the rest, the financial records he'd been digging into. My mother was drowning in debt. She'd made terrible investments, real estate deals that collapsed, and she was desperate. She owed money to people who don't take no for an answer. And she saw me, her own daughter, as the solution, not as her child. as a piggy bank. There was more. My father's estate, the one I thought had been settled years ago, had a secret account. Money Mom never told me about. Money that was supposed to be mine, but that she'd been keeping hidden, waiting for the right moment to claim it all. And I was about to walk right into her house for dinner, with no idea she'd already filed the paperwork to take away my freedom, my rights, my life. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to drive to her house and tear it apart with my bare hands. But Mr. Daniels put his hand up. Don't, he said firmly. Don't confront her yet. Don't let her know you know. We need to be strategic here. We need proof, and we need a plan. So that's what we did. I swallowed down all that rage and pain and betrayal, and I became someone I didn't recognize. Someone cold, someone calculating. We gathered evidence. Bank records showing the hidden accounts. Property files revealing her debts. And then, the crown jewel, a voicemail. Her assistant, the sweet young woman, who always smiled at me during those Friday dinners, had accidentally left a message on the wrong number, a message meant for someone else in Mom's scheme. And in it, she laid out the whole plan. How they'd forge the documents, how they'd get people to lie about my mental state, how they'd lock me out of everything. We had her. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you love, someone you trusted with your whole heart, hit that subscribe button right now, because you need to hear how this ends. This isn't just my story, it's a warning. But I had to play along first. I had to pretend everything was normal. I texted Mom that night. Sorry I missed dinner. Wasn't feeling well. Next week? She replied with heart emojis. Heart emojis. While she was actively trying to rob me blind and steal my freedom. The rage I felt during those days of waiting, of gathering our evidence, of preparing for the confrontation, I can't even describe it. It was like acid in my veins. Every time she texted me something sweet, something motherly, I wanted to throw my phone through a wall, but I smiled. I played the part. I let her think she'd won. Mr. Daniels worked fast. He pulled together everything we needed, contacted a court clerk he trusted, and we set the trap. Instead of dinner the next Friday, I told Mom I needed her help with something at the bank. Some papers Dad left, I said. They need both of us to sign. She agreed immediately. Eagerly. Probably thinking it was another step toward her taking control of everything. She showed up at the office building smiling, wearing her best dress, her hair done perfectly. She looked so proud of herself, so confident. And I felt sick looking at her, because I could see it now. I could see the calculation behind her eyes, the greed. How had I missed it before? She walked into that conference room expecting a quick signature and another Friday dinner. What she got was Mr. Daniels, a court clerk, and me sitting across from her with a folder full of evidence. I watched her face change when she realized what was happening. The smile faltered, then died, then transformed into something like fear. Mr. Daniels didn't waste time. He laid out every single forged document, every fake medical report. He played the voicemail recording, and I watched my mother's face go white as her assistant's voice filled the room, detailing the entire scheme. Mrs. Evelyn, Mr. Daniels said coldly, you have committed fraud. You have attempted to unlawfully seize assets and falsely imprison your daughter through fraudulent guardianship. We have everything documented. She looked at me. Finally looked at me. And you know what she said? Laura, sweetheart, I can explain. This isn't what it looks like. That's when I lost it. All that controlled rage, all that pain I'd been swallowing down for days, it erupted. Don't you dare, I said, and my voice was shaking. Don't you dare call me sweetheart. Don't you dare pretend this was anything other than exactly what it is. You tried to destroy me. You were willing to have me declared mentally incompetent, to lock me away from my own life, so you could steal from me. Your own daughter. She tried to justify it. She actually tried. I did it for the family, she stammered. The family legacy, Laura. I was trying to protect. You were protecting your lies. I stood up, and I was crying now, angry tears streaming down my face. You were protecting yourself, your debts, your failures, and you were willing to sacrifice me to do it. You weren't my mother in those moments. You were a stranger, a criminal. Mr. Daniels filed an immediate injunction right there. Every family account, every asset Mom had tried to access, frozen. She couldn't touch a penny. The court clerk witnessed everything, documented everything. Mom's lawyer, when she finally got one, told her she was looking at serious jail time for fraud and forgery. She tried to reach for me as I walked out. Actually reached for my arm, tears in her eyes, saying, "Please, Laura, please, I'm sorry, I'm your mother." I pulled away from her like she was poison. "No," I said. "A mother doesn't do this. You're just the woman who gave birth to me. That's all you are now." I walked out of that office alone, and I was trembling so hard I could barely make it to my car. But I was free. For the first time in months, maybe years, I was actually free. Free from her manipulation, free from her lies, free from the fantasy that we could ever have a real relationship. The next few weeks were a blur of legal proceedings. I transferred my father's assets into a protected trust for my daughter. Everything he'd left behind, everything Mom had tried to steal. I made sure it would go to the next generation the right way, the honest way. Mom faced consequences, real ones, fraud charges, forgery, attempted theft. Her fancy lawyer tried to make deals, but Mr. Daniels didn't let up. She'd tried to destroy her own daughter's life, and she was going to pay for it. I lost a mother that day in the conference room. But you know what? I found something more valuable. I found my strength. I found my spine. I found the part of me that refuses to be a victim, even when someone I love tries to make me one. You don't owe loyalty to someone who uses love as a weapon. Read that again. You don't owe loyalty to someone who weaponizes your love for them. It doesn't matter if they're family. It doesn't matter how many years of history you share. When someone shows you they're willing to destroy you for their own gain, you believe them. And you protect yourself. I still have hard days. Days when I remember the good times with Mom, back when I was little, and things seemed simpler. Days when I wonder if I could have done something differently. But then I remember those documents, those forged medical reports claiming I was unstable, those statements from people she convinced to lie about me, and I remember that I didn't do this to her. She did this to herself. My daughter asks about Grandma sometimes. She's young enough that she doesn't fully understand what happened. I tell her that sometimes people we love make choices that hurt us, and we have to protect ourselves, even when it's painful. I tell her that love should never come with chains, that family should build you up, not tear you down to elevate themselves. I'm teaching her something my mother never learned: boundaries, self-respect, the understanding that blood relation doesn't give someone the right to abuse you or steal from you or destroy your life for their benefit. There are signs I missed. Looking back, I can see them so clearly now. The way Mom always brought conversations back to money, to Dad's estate, to what I was planning to do with my inheritance. The way she pushed so hard for reconciliation right after my divorce, when I was vulnerable and desperate for family support. The way she talked about keeping things in the family like it was some sacred mission instead of what it really was, a plan to keep everything under her control. If someone you love suddenly wants control over your life, don't ignore the signs. I'm begging you, don't make my mistake. When someone starts pushing for access to your finances, your legal affairs, your medical decisions, ask yourself why. Ask yourself what they gain. And if the answer makes you uncomfortable, trust that discomfort. Love shouldn't come with contracts and signatures. Real love doesn't need to legally bind you. Real love doesn't require you to give up your autonomy, or your assets, or your freedom. Real love respects you as a whole, independent person. My mother taught me that lesson the hardest way possible. She showed me that even the person who brought you into this world can see you as nothing more than a means to an end. And while that truth broke something in me, it also built something stronger. I know who I am now. I know what I won't tolerate. I know that I'm worth protecting, even from family. Especially from family, when family becomes dangerous. The last time I saw her was in court. She looked smaller somehow. Older. She tried to catch my eye, tried to give me that look she used to give me when I was little, and she wanted me to forgive her for something. But I looked away. There was nothing left to forgive because there was nothing left between us. Her lawyer asked if I would consider dropping some of the charges. "She's your mother," he said, like that explained everything, like that erased everything. "No," I said simply. "She stopped being my mother when she chose to do this." The judge sided with us on every count. Mom lost everything she'd tried to steal, plus everything she had left. Poetic justice, maybe. Or just regular justice finally catching up to someone who thought family ties meant immunity from consequences. I don't hate her. That's the strange thing. I thought I would. I thought I'd carry this burning hatred forever. But mostly I just feel empty where she used to be. Like a tooth that's been pulled, there's a gap, and it's noticeable, but the pain is gone. The infection is gone. I'm building a new life now. A real one. With people who actually love me, not what I can give them. My daughter, my real friends, even Mr. Daniels, who I think feels weirdly protective of me, after everything. People who show up without ulterior motives. And I'm building it on a foundation of truth this time. No more ignoring red flags. No more sacrificing my well-being for people who don't value it. No more confusing manipulation with love. If there's anything I want you to take from my story, it's this. Family isn't who shares your blood. It's who respects your boundaries. It's who shows up for you without expecting you to destroy yourself in return. It's who celebrates your success instead of trying to steal it. Blood doesn't make you family. Love does. Real love. The kind that doesn't come with legal documents designed to rob you of everything you are. My mother chose greed over me. She chose her debts and her desperation over her own daughter. And in doing so, she lost the only real valuable thing she had, our relationship. Whatever it could have been, whatever it might have become, she burned it to the ground for money she didn't even get to keep. Was it worth it? I want to ask her that sometimes. Was it worth losing your daughter? Was it worth the criminal record and the frozen assets and the reputation destroyed? Was it worth it, Mom? But I don't ask. Because I don't talk to her anymore. That door is closed. Locked. And I'm the only one with the key. Some of you watching this might think I'm cold. Heartless. How could I turn my back on my own mother? But you weren't there. You didn't see those forged documents with your name on them. You didn't hear that voicemail laying out the plan to declare you incompetent. You didn't feel that specific betrayal of someone who was supposed to protect you, instead hunting you like prey. Until you've lived it, you can't judge it. And if you have lived it, if someone in your family has tried to control you or steal from you or destroy you for their own benefit, then you know exactly why I did what I did. You know why I had to. This is your reminder to protect yourself. Check your accounts. Know who has access to what. Read every document before you sign it. Ask questions when someone suddenly wants to be involved in your finances or your legal affairs. Trust your gut when something feels wrong. And if you found value in my story, if it opened your eyes to something in your own life, do me a favor and share this video. Leave a comment telling me what boundaries you're setting or what red flags you're finally seeing. Let's help each other stay safe, even from the people we're supposed to trust most. I'm not going to stand here and tell you I'm completely healed. I'm not. There are nights I still wake up angry. Nights I still grieve the mother I thought I had, even though I know now she never really existed. But I'm healing. Slowly. Honestly. And I'm teaching my daughter something invaluable. That she never has to set herself on fire to keep someone else warm. Not for me. Not for anyone. That her worth isn't determined by what she can provide to others. That love is supposed to be safe. My mother tried to take everything from me. My money, my freedom, my future. But she failed. And in failing, she gave me something she never intended. She gave me clarity. She gave me strength. She gave me the final proof that I don't need her. I needed to believe I did. I needed that relationship so badly that I ignored warning signs and swallowed doubts and convinced myself that this time would be different. But I don't need it anymore. I don't need her anymore. And that realization, as painful as it was to reach, set me free. So here I am, 35 years old, single mother, survivor of divorce, and now survivor of my own mother's betrayal, standing on my own 2 feet, protecting what's mine, building a life that no one can steal from me because it's not built on money or assets or inheritance. It's built on truth, on self-respect, on boundaries that I will never again let anyone cross, no matter who they are. That's my story. That's my warning. That's my truth. Take it seriously. Protect yourself fiercely. And never, ever let anyone convince you that family loyalty means accepting abuse. It doesn't. It never did. You deserve better. I deserved better. And we both have to be the ones who enforce that standard. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And please, please learn from my pain, so you don't have to live through your own version of it. The signs are always there. We just have to be brave enough to see them and strong enough to act. My lawyer's text saved my life that Friday. Those 6 words, call me now, don't go there, stopped me from walking into a trap. From sitting at my mother's dinner table, while she smiled and served me food, and secretly celebrated the documents she'd filed that morning, to destroy me. I think about that sometimes. What would have happened if I'd gone? If I'd eaten her cooking and laughed at her jokes and hugged her goodbye, completely unaware that she'd already set my destruction in motion. The thought makes me physically ill. But I didn't go. I stopped. I listened. And I fought back. You can too. Whatever you're facing, whoever is trying to control you, or use you, or steal from you, you can fight back. You can protect yourself. You can walk away from blood relations that are poisoning your life. It won't be easy. It'll hurt like hell. But on the other side of that pain is freedom. Real freedom. The kind my mother tried to steal, but couldn't. Because here's what she didn't understand. You can take someone's money. You can take their assets. You can even take their freedom, if you're successful with your legal schemes. But you can't take their strength once they find it. And I found mine. I found it in that lawyer's office, staring at forged documents with my name on them. I found it in the decision to fight instead of fold. I found it in walking out of that confrontation alive and free and done with her forever. That's the strength I'm passing to my daughter. The strength my mother never had and tried to prevent me from finding. She failed. I won. And I'm never looking back. If you made it this far, drop a comment below sharing one boundary you're going to set this week. Just one. Start small. Start somewhere. But start protecting yourself today, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow might be too late. It almost was for me.